Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new semester. My name's Sean, and I'll be your professor for this online math course you're taking. So, I wanted to give a quick welcome and a few pro tips, a bit of advice, as well as kind of a quick overview of the class, what you can expect from me, what I'm going to expect from you, and things like that before you dive in deep and read all the detailed information about the course you're taking. So, first of all, I wanted to kind of frame what does it mean to take an online math course, and with an asterisk on it because I'm talking about specifically with me. It's going to be a bit different with whoever you take it with. So, for me, taking an online math class, I'm trying to mimic as best I can a in-person class where I have class sessions. All right, roughly like 28 to 30 class sessions that are broken down into as if you were attending class, every other day or something throughout a regular semester. So, what happens in a class session? Well, we talk about the idea, we play with the idea through a few examples, and then when you leave class, what do? You work through some practice exercises as well as problems to kind of flex that muscle that we worked in class, as well as try it in a new setting, try to attack some problems that we haven't seen before and struggle with those to deepen our understanding. So, there will be examples that we walk through videos, through readings, whatever it might be. Extended video lectures, shorter video snippets, whatever it might be. And then, we'll have exercises and problems on your own. Okay. And so this is kind of how I envision it. It's what's worked really well for a number of years that I've been doing these classes. So I hope that this format works for you. And I have some kind of tips on taking an online math class because this might be your first time doing it. And the first is to take your time. Okay. So taking your time means slowing down. It also means finding quality time. If you're thinking that this is a course you can kind of sneak in between doing 2 or 3 different things and do it in, bursts, that's probably a bad idea. I've seen that fail time and time again. I've been teaching online for about 12 years. It never works out. So not only do you need to make quality time where you can have deep quality thinking, you also need to go slow through these ideas because it's like steeping tea. You can't rush it, right? It takes iterations, it takes repetition, and it takes time. So to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success in that way, and while you're taking your time, to take it all in. Sometimes little, meanders off the path actually help a great deal in our understanding. And everything that I put in this course is definitely a need to know piece of content. So, I'll mark something as nice to know if it's just for math majors or for, computer science majors, whatever it might be. But in general, everything in here is important. So if you're thinking you can just go through by, due dates and just navigating through the calendar, I see that a lot. And again, that flops. So make sure you go through each class session as the class has been defined and designed. So, and I'm going to be doing that as well. I'm going to be trying to, be professorly. My job is to profess. So I'm going to take my time and explain things in detail whenever I have the opportunity to do it. And so I encourage you to do the same, be on that kind of receiving end of why is he saying what he's saying? Why is this important? Why is he taking the time to do this? So take your time, take it all in to make sure that you are staying engaged. And this kind of goes with the expectations bit that I'll talk about in a moment. But to stay curious, to stay engaged, almost every day you should probably be tapping into this class as if you would be if you were taking this in person because you are on your own time. So time management obviously going to be key here. Can you stay on top of yourself when, things aren't due quite yet, but they will be soon? Are you going to wait till that last minute, or are you going to set yourself up again for success? So for a little bit of what to expect in this course in terms of assignments, what I'm going to expect from you, what you can expect from me. Assignments, there are essentially, ungraded practice. A lot of times these are called the critical practice assignments. And if you've taken a typical, in-class math course, whether in high school or whatever, you'll remember homework. This is kind of the equivalent of homework. It's what you're going to be practicing outside of that learning session to deepen and extend your understanding. And then there's also going to be graded assignments. And, you got to ask yourself, what's the purpose of a graded assignment? It's just for me to measure, are you having a successful learning experience or not, right? How much do you know based on what we've done together and the practice you've been doing? And so these graded assignments can take the place of quizzes and exams, which there's documents about those within the course. And there's also community problems, which are it's something I'm probably the most excited about in this course. And what I see students get really jazzed about are tackling problems together, where students take on the teacher role and you teach back how to deal with a certain type of problem. And this is something that we've gone through already together. And what you get is that benefit of multiple perspectives. Right? A lot of time you're just going to be hearing from me, other videos that I link on YouTube or whatever. But then hearing from your classmates how they view a problem is incredibly powerful and really illuminating. So these are a great way to deepen your understanding and prep yourself for big assessments like the midterm and the final exam. So expectations, like I said before, for you guys, for students, that engagement piece is big. Staying hooked into the class 5 to 6 days a week, really going to be setting yourself up for success. If you just try to do it 1 day a week, you're going to have a rough time. Again, we learn by frequency more than we do by big chunks of time where we'll probably get exhausted and not retain that information. So staying engaged, staying on top of the course, taking the course as designed, as I said before, and getting in touch with questions, not just suffering by yourself, using the class discussion. This is a big part of the course. I don't think I've talked about this yet, but the class discussion is like raising your hand in class. And so I'm going to very much prioritize getting back to students in that discussion. Other students are going to get the benefit of that interaction. We can have clarifying questions, all sorts of great things. So anything about the course, about the ideas we're discussing, that's a great place to do it, is in what we call the Ask a Question forum or the class discussion. All right. So I'm gonna assume that you will take the agency to ask questions, because I can't really check in on you like you're in a seat in front of me and say, hey, how you doing? You look like you're struggling. That's way tougher for me to tell. So I need you to take that agency and do that for yourself. And for me, for the teacher, for the professor, whatever, what you can expect from me is regular engagement in that discussion, as well as frequently checking in with you guys to see how it's going, and providing feedback on assignments in the meantime. What I really do is prioritize that class discussion. So if you're hoping to hear back from me, get some feedback from me, that's the place you're going to hear it. If it's on a graded assignment, since I have so many students online, I tend to batch those activities. So that will be, lesser frequent. I still obviously get back to folks on that, but this will be the place where I prioritize my time. So that's kind of where you can expect to see me. About assignments and expectations, I think that's about it. Again, there's more details within the course syllabus. And now where you can find help, like I said, there's the class discussion. There is email for personal things only, right? So if you have a question about math, it should go here, even though sometimes we're a bit shy about showing what we don't know. Again, you're helping others, because if you have a question, probably 10 or 12 other students do too, let's be honest. So make sure that all math-related questions go here. And if you have a personal issue, something comes up, a question about your grades, that's where email would come in. And then all tech issues, this would be at the help desk. And that information is within the course as well, under student resources, academic support. And so this is for math help over here. I also forgot to mention the Math Center, which they do offer online peer tutors, professional tutors. Um, and I'll just say I would prioritize the class discussion over the Math Center only because we're speaking each other's language being in the same class. Whereas the Math Center, they're going to kind of have to catch up to speed, like where are you at? What terms do you use? What technique are you on? That sort of thing. But both are perfectly valid ways to get help when you need it. And lastly, semester is long, okay? So, and a lot of times what we do in class is highly abstract. I do a great deal of work to make sure that we do relevant examples that have ties to real world applications. However, a lot of things that we do are abstract because math is a way of thinking. So to kind of really connect with your focus, your why for not just taking this class, but attending school. Why are you here? Why are you doing this? Maybe even why do your professors think it's important that you take this math course, etc. But the more personal, why am I doing this, can be a very powerful motivator to connect with frequently. When we get to week 10 out of 16, it's going to be maybe tough to remember in the midst of everything that's going on, your other classwork, work responsibilities, family responsibilities. Why am I doing XYZ math technique? Remember to connect with your why and that we're learning a specific way of thinking. This will greatly help you stay engaged and again, have a more successful outcome from this class. My biggest goal is that you find a connection with mathematics. You find maybe a bit of a spark for math, as you probably see that I have, and you will as we continue. You see that you are too a math person and that you get the outcome that you need in order to continue your path wherever it is that you're going. So those are kind of my main goals and how I stay motivated. So I hope you connect with your why. I hope this was a legitimate introduction to the course for you. You have a better sense of what's going on. And I look forward to seeing you in the class discussion where we can introduce and get to know each other. Take care.